also just miss the... Why is it 3 o'clock in the morning? What the heck? No! Hello my beautiful lovelies, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. My name is Maya, and as you can tell, today we have another book video. This is a video that I think is going to be very essential for me, and also that I think needs to be done most of all. For this video, we are going to be getting out of a reading slump. Well, I'm going to be getting out of a reading slump, and you're going to be following along with me. Hopefully this video will give you inspiration or encourage you to just read again, or more in general. I had mentioned in a couple of my last videos that I've been in like a somewhat of a reading slump. I was reading The Hunger Games. I know I keep bringing it up because that book took me forever to read, or the series took me forever to read. I was just in such a bad reading slump. Fast forward, I finished the series, and now I still feel that I'm in this weird phase of not reading as much, not wanting to pick up a book, and I just still feel that I'm in this weird phase of being in a reading slump. Even though I don't think it's as bad as it was, it's still kind of not where I want to be. So the point of this video is to help me get out of my reading slump. But now that I'm officially done with the Hunger Games series, I can officially read other things. Since the goal of this video was to help me get out of a reading slump, I picked 3 books for the duration of this video to read. I'm not sure how long they're going to take me to read. I don't think they're going to take me that long. I picked these 3 books for specific reasons, which I will get into. I'm actually going to create a fall TBR. That's going to be another video. But these books are part of that fall TBR in a sense. Yeah, they are. So I picked these books partly because I wanted to read them in the fall, and then for other reasons too. And the 3 books are Bride by Ali Hazelwood. I picked Bride as the first book I'm going to read because I have been wanting to read this book for so long. Another reason is because I want to start getting back into reading romance. I've been saying that for a while now because I had stopped reading it, and now I think is the time to start reading it again, and I really want to just go back to my roots and start feeling the feeling of how I always felt when I read romance. So this was definitely one of the first books that I wanted to read after coming off of the Hunger Games series. The thought of reading a vampire and werewolf book just sounded very exciting to me. My sister loved this book as well, so I knew this would be a perfect book to start out with. I also just feel like the cover just gives fall. It just feels like a fall romancy book. It's paranormal romance, which automatically just sounds very good to me. So that is why I picked this very first book to start out with. The next book is The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. I always hope I'm saying anyone's name correctly. This book also is another book that I have been wanting to read for a while. It feels like fall. I wanted to add a thriller in there, so I know there won't be any romance in this, but I wanted to add something that I know where the plot will keep me engaged. My sister also read this book. This book has a lot of high ratings. I heard the chapters were really short. When it comes to books with really short chapters, I tend to get through those pretty quickly. So I thought this book would be a good choice to add to the 3 books that I want to read to help me get out of my reading slump. The synopsis also sounds really good, so I am excited to read this. And then lastly, I have Heartless Hunter by Kristen Cicerelli. This is also another book that I have been wanting to read for a long time. One of my favorite YouTubers mentioned her loving this book. I wanted to have all 3 books to have somewhat of a variety. Most of all, I definitely wanted to add a fantasy book in there. I wanted it to also have just a little bit of romance as well. So I thought this was the perfect romantasy to pick at the moment. I'm actually trying to get more into reading romantasies. I don't read them too much, so I thought jumping into this one just felt good. I also feel that this cover also gives very much fall. It's a beautiful cover, and I was just itching to read this one. So of course it had to go on the list and be a part of this video. Like I said, I feel that all 3 of these books are different in their own way, which is why I picked all 3 of these for the video. I didn't want to keep reading the same thing over and over again, because sometimes that can make me get into a reading slump and not want to keep reading if I just keep reading the same things that sound the same. So I felt that these books were the perfect lineup for the point of this video, and the perfect start to reading for the fall. Also, another fun and exciting thing about this video is that I'm finally going to be starting to use a book journal that I got. I got this book journal from a friend a little while ago. I haven't started using it because I got it when I was reading the Hunger Games series, or I was still in the middle of reading that. I think I was at the end of Catching Fire. So it just felt weird to start using it at the time. But now that I'm done with it, I want to start using it and start with these books that I just showed you. The front of it says, I'm booked all week. And it's a book lover's journal. Rate and review the books you've read and create a wish list for future reading. And I just thought it was so cute. I also just want to get into a better habit of tracking the books that I read. I also felt that me wanting to start using this journal and track my books and write the books in this would also help me just want to read more books and get out of my reading slump. So of course I had to include the book journal into the video. I have just been rambling on so much. So let's finally start reading. The first book I'm going to start reading is Bride, and I kind of want to start that right now, if I'm being honest. So that is what we're going to do. Let's see how much I can get through tonight. I'm not even going to say how much I want to get through tonight because then I feel like I'm putting pressure on myself. That's kind of the opposite of what I want to do right now. Okay guys, it has been a while. Like, I've just been sitting and reading for a very long time, so it seems. I told myself I was gonna maybe read 2 chapters, maybe 3, maybe 5 max while I was back here. No. All I have to say, Bride was the perfect book to get me out of the slump. Yes, I fear. Also, this video is not going to be a spoilers video. I'm just going to give some opinions on the books that I'm reading and obviously rate them and just elaborate on me getting out of my slump. But before I get into the book and tell you where I am, I forgot to show you guys the book journal because it's not just blank lined pages. It's actually like prompts in here that shows you what you should write down, and it's literally so adorable. So I'm gonna write my name on this part that says all the books this journal belongs to. Okay, so the first page opens up to a table of contents, and then it has like page numbers down the side. Like, it gives you a guide for what book review is on each page. So if I wanted to like go to my book review for Bride, for example, when I put it in here, I would go to page 8 and 9, which would be the very first book review, which I'll show you. And then there's a wish list. So once it hits every single page in the book, it goes to another part of the table of contents. That's the wish list. And those page numbers are listed out at the very end. Oh, this is the table of contents for the wish list that's at the very back of the book. I'll explain that. But the first book review page looks like this. It says book review at the top, and then it says book title, author, genre, rating. So I get to color in some stars, and then it gives me a couple things to pick for the book. It says quick opinion of this book. One of the best books I've read, pure entertainment, guilty pleasure read, not what I expected. It was just okay, emotional, hysterically funny, worst book ever. And then I also think they gave me one extra bullet point to add what I wanted, or like the opinion, extra 2 lines to write. Then it says why I chose this book, day I began reading this book, day I finished reading this book, summary. Favorite quotes, highlights. And then it just has those book reviews for the whole entire book until it gets to the very end where it says wish list. And I believe wish list is just books that you want to buy that you don't have currently, or books that are on my radar to buy. I don't have any books right now that I'm definitely dying to buy or that I want, so I don't really know what I'd put in this right now. But it just says book title, author, genre, recommended by, where to acquire, and notes. So today is October 3rd. So I wrote that I began reading this book, Bride, October 3rd, 2025, which is a Friday. I'm gonna write down why I chose this book, and obviously I can't rate it until I finish it later. And then I'm also going to go write Bride on the table of contents for pages 8 and 9, and that is it. I officially have started using the book journal. Writing in it just felt so good. I'll probably show you guys the full page when I'm done writing it. But back to the book, I am literally right here. I got pretty far. I feel like this is a lot with me just getting it all done in one sitting. It is page 146. Halfway would be right here. And I would say I am a third into the book, almost halfway. So I would say I am definitely at a very, very, very good start. I definitely feel that it's pulling me in. I want to keep reading it. I really like how different it is because I feel like in the reading community or books in general, there's always a lot of werewolf and vampire book tropes and just those kinds of paranormal creatures in books. I've read and watched so many things with vampires and werewolves in them. There's Twilight and Vampire Diaries. I know there's more, but those are the first things that are popping into my head. But this book is just so different, actually, I would say. But I like how different it is compared to other ways things are systemically set up. For example, the dynamic between the vampires and the werewolves and the humans. It's much more political in comparison to other books that involve werewolves and vampires. Like there's councilmen and people who run packs in certain parts of the town where she lives, and she's definitely in the middle of a lot of the political stuff going on. Well, her father is, and then also the love interest who is a werewolf. That's kind of all I want to elaborate on, because like I said, I don't really want to do any spoilers because I want to encourage people to read the book, because so far it is so good and I love it. Also, just the way vampires are in this book is definitely different from other vampires. Like, for example, she's not immortal. She can live and die, and she grows old. So that was another thing that threw me off. But for the most part, I love it so much. I find myself wanting to come back to reading it all the time. I took barely a break at all. I probably went to go grab some water and I was like, I want to rush back and read it. And now it's gotten so late and I need to get in the shower, and like I want to rush and go take my shower just so I can come back and get into bed and read some more. So I would say that's a very good start into me breaking out of my reading slump. I also just miss the antsy slow burn of a romance. I'm so excited to get more into the romance. I can't even tell you, I miss romance so much. But anyway, I just wanted to update you on where I was, my feelings, talk about the book journal. I definitely think I will be finishing this book very, very quickly. I'm officially showered and skincare is done. And honestly, I just want to start reading again, like right now. So let's light a candle, let's turn off my overhead light, and let's get into bed and get cozy. I've been lighting this candle called Sweater Weather. I got it in my fall vlog and it's halfway gone, but I love it so much. It smells so good. Guys, it is literally oh my god. I literally got into bed. I wanted to get into bed early so I'd have time to read so I can still get to bed and not a late time. Why is it 3 o'clock in the morning? It's almost 3:30 in the morning and I'm still reading. I can't put the book down. I'm pretty much for sure halfway through. I got through half of the book today and I didn't even read it early into the day. I started reading it at like 5 o'clock. Oh my god. I'm so back. I'm so back. If this isn't getting me out of a reading slump, I don't know what is, honestly. And I'm on such a good part and I literally don't want to put the book down. But I have to go to sleep because I'm so tired. I have 4 more pages until this chapter is done, and then I am for sure going to bed. I don't care if it ends on a cliffhanger. I don't care if it's a chapter that makes me want to read the next chapter. I'm not even gonna look at the page of the next chapter. I'm going to go straight to bed. So far the book is so good. I'm not gonna read it right now, but I know it's gonna be rated very high. Anyway, good night. Okay guys, I hope this angle isn't terrible. From last night, it is the next day. And I am this much into the book. I don't even have a lot left. I'm pretty sure I can finish it tonight. But after last night, I told myself I am not going to bed that late again. Absolutely not. Like, I'm trying not to go to bed late like that anymore. And I haven't done that in a while, but the book was just so good. Like, I can't remember the last time I had to stay up late because I was so hooked on a book and I couldn't put it down. So if anything, I think that can just attest to how much I'm loving the book. And honestly, all I have to say is I feel like she literally put like crack in this book. That's the only thing I can think of, because this book is like crack. I wake up, I want to read it. Right when I woke up today, since I woke up extra late because I was up late last night, I ran straight to the book. I had errands I had to run. I left the house. I couldn't wait to get back to read more of the book. I'm obsessed. I've actually just been sitting here reading for a little bit, and then I was like, I need to be documenting because I have been reading for as much as I can today because I want to finish the book today. At least I want to try. A part of me is saying that I want to finish the book today, but another part of me is like, I know I can, because it doesn't feel like I'm forcing myself to read with this book. And that's like really the best thing and good thing that I can ask for. Because one of my biggest things about starting this channel was that I was scared that I was going to feel really forced to finish books and just to get through so many books to have content. But this book is making it very easy to do that. I actually have a couple more pages of a chapter, so I'm going to sit here and read that, and then I'm going to get back to you on how I'm feeling. I miss this feeling. I miss this feeling of being giddy and like kicking my feet, and I miss romance so much. But speaking of that, okay, let's get into the book just a little bit. Obviously no spoilers. I'm just gonna give a couple more takes on why I love this book so much and why I just think it was a breath of fresh air. But then another part of me is not sure that maybe I'm feeling this way because I haven't read romance in so long. And that's kind of like what happened when I read Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. That was my first romance book that I was reading after I had stopped reading it again for another shorter period of time. But I think with this book, it's different. The feeling is different. And I know that I like it because I know it's a good book, or at least it is to me. Like I said, it's different in the sense of things when it comes to like vampires and werewolves and humans, or like that world. But something else that I love about the book is that there's like multiple tropes. For example, arranged marriage, and also that one-sided thing where she doesn't know how he feels. But like I said, most of all, everything is just written so nicely and it's incorporated in there well to the point where it's not too cliche, if that makes any sense. For example, Misery, who is the main character in the book, and her love interest, Lo, who is the werewolf, they get into this arranged marriage, and that's not a spoiler because that's kind of the biggest part of the plot of the book, and it's literally pretty much on the back in the first 5 minutes in. But they get into an arranged marriage. Usually it's that the girl's forced into it. Well, she kind of is forced into it, but she has her own reasons and why she wants to get into the marriage, and she willingly does do it. But it's just, they're in this alliance marriage, and they both know it's a political thing between them in the beginning, of course, but the way it just evolves into something else was written so well. It's just written out differently, just a little bit, and I love it. Another thing that I think Ali Hazelwood did really well with this book is the slow burn. Oh my God. The slow burn itself is another reason why I love this book, because I don't even think they started doing anything or like actually kissed until over halfway into the book. I also love Misery's character also becoming a new person. I would say this book also has found family in it because she's accepting herself finally and accepting the people who are in her life that weren't always in her life, but she's accepting new people into it. And I think that's another reason why I think it's so well written, because you can genuinely see the main character changing through her thoughts and through her actions. And I just love that she's finally getting cherished and welcomed, because many people in her life, maybe one person, which if you read the book then you know who I'm talking about, cherished her and loved her as a person, truly as who she is. But I'm on page 297. I have this much left. I'm going to read some more, and I will probably finish it tonight, but if I don't, I am for sure finishing it tomorrow. I also really want to write down some stuff in the book journal. There are some quotes in the book that I don't want to forget to write in the favorite quote section, so I'm going to write down some of those too. What is it about men that are written by women? The love interest in this book. Good morning. It is currently 9 o'clock in the morning. I wanted to get up early, but then I didn't get to finish reading the book last night because I wanted to go to bed early and not stay up too late. So I didn't get to finish it because I had like 3 more chapters. So when I woke up this morning, I immediately grabbed the book so I could finish it like right now. Sorry with how crazy I look right now. I'm just trying to like document as much as I can about my reading process, because when I am obsessed with the book like this is how I am. Yeah, I'm gonna finish it right now and then probably go get ready for the day. And I am done. The book was so good. I don't even know what to say. And with the way it just ended right now, I cannot wait for the companion book that I think is coming out. I'm not sure when it comes out. I have to triple check. And now I feel like I know who it's about and I can't wait to read it. I'm kind of sad now. What do I do? I'll talk more about the book after I get ready and my ranking, and then also we can finish adding everything to the book journal for the entry of Bride. Hello, and I'm back. I got ready for the day and I showered, I worked out too, and now I'm having a coffee while we chat about Bride. I got this maple foam from Trader Joe's and I put it on top and it's literally so good. So sometimes I have to like sip it through the straw and then drink it from the top so I can get the flavor of the maple foam before it completely dissolves into the coffee. And it's so good. I am officially done with the book. You saw that I finished it this morning. I only have good things to say, but it's just, I'm in awe of it because of how good it was. I mentioned before that I was hoping I wasn't gonna rate it so high because it was my first romance after so long. But I genuinely think that even if I read other romances and then jumped into this, I still would have loved it just as much. I was glued to this book completely. I just kept wanting to pick it up. Every time I was doing something else, I was like, oh, I can't wait till I can get back home and read the book. According to the book journal, I started on October 3rd and today is October 6th. So I finished this book in like 3 days. Technically 2 days because I had to finish like 2 more chapters on the 3rd day. This is the shortest amount of time I've taken to read a book in a while. I would say I love the spin she took on the werewolf and vampire dynamic. I would say it's found family. It's also arranged marriage as well, but I would say there's also a bit of a spin on that as well. All in all, I'm gonna give this book 5 stars. Yes, I give it 5 stars. This book was so good, at least to me. Due to the way it ended, I know that we're gonna get another couple's book, but obviously I know that the characters in this are gonna be in that book or show up because I don't wanna spoil anything. The companion book comes out October 7th. It comes out tomorrow. I want to read it so bad. It's called Mate. But now let's finish writing out the journal entry for Bride. There's a section where there's like stars and I kind of want to draw the stars in a different color from what I'm writing in. I just have the quick opinion thing to check off, why I chose this book, at the summary, and the highlights to write for it. One of the best books I've read. Should I check that? I don't know. Pure entertainment for sure. Guilty pleasure read. I'm gonna mark one of the best books I've read because that was so good. Why I chose this book. Now I'm gonna finish just writing out everything. Okay, so I just finished the journaling part and it was really fun to do, but I'm officially done with Bride. I'm gonna take a break from reading today before I start Silent Patient tomorrow because that's the book that I decided I'm gonna read next. I thought that would be a good palate cleanser before I jump into Heartless Hunter because Heartless Hunter is also kind of like a romance but other things thrown in there. But then like I said, I'm going to take a rest on reading today and then start up Silent Patient tomorrow. I will catch up with you guys tomorrow. Hello, welcome back. Well, it's just the next day. It's a new day, which means a new book. We're starting a new book today. Like I said yesterday, we are starting Silent Patient today. I'm actually really excited to start this one. I know kind of what it's about, but then I kind of don't. I'm going in blind. People say to go in blind with this book. My sister said to go in blind with this book. Another crazy thing is that I realized is that this is this author's first novel, I think, or his first book that he published. Yeah, his first novel, The Silent Patient, and it blew up all over the internet. I haven't even read one page of it because I wanted to start with you guys. I also wanted to write some stuff in the journal entry before I officially started it. Birds outside. Do you hear the freaking birds? It's like a choir of them. There's so many. Right now I'm just gonna write the title of the book, the author. I had to look up the exact genre of the book. So it is a psychological thriller. Okay, why I chose this book. That's all I can really say. I don't really want to write the summary right now, and then favorite quotes. I'll keep a lookout for those while I read it, and then highlights will be done after I finish. I'm also starting it on, yesterday I finished Bride on the 6th, so today is the 7th. But let's get into reading the book. I'm going to read a little bit of it right now, and then I think I also want to go to a cafe and read, because sometimes when I do feel like I'm in a reading slump, I like to go to other locations and read, and I want to go to a cafe and read today. I kind of want a matcha too, so that's what I'm going to do after I read for a little bit. So I also don't even think I'm going to change. I kind of want to just keep the sweater on for the rest of the day because it's so comfy, but I guess I will touch back with you guys and give my opinions when I need to. This is the cafe fit for today. Sweater's thrifted. I wear the sweater a little bit too much. I wear it all the time. My jeans and my chucks. But let's go because I'm itching to have a matcha and they kind of close soon. But I don't need to be in there that long. Let's go and get some reading done. Okay, first impression of the book. I am on page 124. I got through that much today. I read some here, I read some at the cafe. I will say the book is looping me in, pulling me in, but I can already tell the difference in this book and Bride only in accordance to my pull to the book or me wanting to just keep reading it on and on and on. I definitely feel that this book will probably be one that I will get into more as I read it. And then with Bride, it was immediate, like first 4 chapters in, I was obsessed. But this one was pulling me in, is really wanting to just know what happened to the main character. So pretty much what the book is about, or what I'm getting, this guy named Theo Faber, he is a clinical therapist and he wants to help this lady named Alicia Berenson who killed her husband 6 years ago, shot him in the face, but no one knows why she did it, because after she killed him, she went to trial and everything and she never spoke again. She never opened her mouth. She never said a word. Hence why the book is called The Silent Patient. But Theo just wants to help her and figure out why she did what she did, because that's the question that everyone has, is why did she kill her husband and why did she go silent and never speak again all these 6 years. And honestly, I want to know too, because the only thing that she left behind after she killed her husband was this painting she did, or she painted a painting because she's like a well-known painter in the book. That's the only like last thing she did or message she got across to the world after she killed her husband, and that's like the only thing people have to go off of. But right now I have no idea what that painting does for anything or why it's so important. I feel that we will get into, or it will come up again, why it's important, because it's brought up a lot and Theo himself uses that painting a lot to dissect Alicia. That's pretty much what's happening right now. Theo's just trying to figure out why she is how she is. He got a job at a new hospital because he worked at a different one, and then he wanted to work with Alicia all these years. He found an opening at the hospital that she's at, so he got a job there. And that's kind of where I am right now. He's at the hospital, finally met Alicia. He's trying to figure out what is wrong with her. And of course right now she's not speaking to him. I didn't think she would. I don't know what I'm expecting. I think this book is just one of those books where I'm gonna need to get into it, but right now it is good. I just need to keep reading. I just want to know what happened, and I'm trying to figure out and connect the dots just as much as Theo is. And I kind of like the fact that we're also figuring it out just as much as he is. Like, there's not really a lot of anything that as a reader you pick up on that he himself is not picking up on. So far I like it, and I kind of want to just keep reading it. I hate to compare it to Bride because that one was just such a good book to start off with, and this book makes you want to come back to it because I am really curious as how the story is going to play out. The good news is that I have been keeping up with my quotes early, so I'm going to start writing some down right now, or a couple that I've already found that I really liked. But I'm just going to keep reading, and I'll get back to you guys when I feel like I have something to say. Hello. I'm just gonna push all my mess that way so we can film. It has been, I think, 2 days. I've been reading. That's all that matters. I have been reading. Last time we talked was my first impression of the book, and I like it. I will say though, I do feel that things sometimes drag and are still currently dragging. I'm like a little bit over halfway into the book. I kind of feel that things are happening, but I don't know why they're happening. Just a lot is happening, and I'm just, what's the point? But then I'm assuming everything will make sense later on. He's pretty much just trying to figure out her life, meeting her family, talking to her old friends, still trying to get her to speak, but she hasn't spoken yet. Most of all, I do find myself wanting to come back to it, mainly because I am genuinely interested in what is happening, and I also want to uncover with the narrator what the bigger picture is in accordance to why Alicia did what she did. But I also just want to read again, and that's all that matters, because that's the point of this video, and I think I'm accomplishing what I set out to do, which is get out of my reading slump, and I think it's working. Some things that do stand out to me is that I love Theo's point of view, because he's a clinical therapist and he's treating Alicia, and he has his own takes on like craziness and treating people who are like in mental institutions, but then he also has his own very dark past. Hearing his point of view on things is kind of nice, because of things that he's gone through and the issues that he's had in the past and how he grew up. The way the author intertwines Theo's life and Alicia's life is also very cool and interesting. I think they have some parallels in a sense. I think that's kind of the point of the story, that they have parallels in their childhood and possibly why they are the way they are. It's easier to get a point of view on Theo's perspective on his past instead of Alicia's, because we are finding out things about her past, but we get more insight into Theo's. The good thing is that Alicia is finally starting to communicate to Theo, even though she's still not speaking, but she's starting to communicate to him through like art and facial expressions, which is a good start, because at first she wasn't doing that and she actually attacked him. I kind of feel bad for Theo and Alicia, not gonna lie, but obviously for certain reasons and separate reasons that have to do with their lives. I will say that the chapters in the book are really short. Like some chapters are 1 page, some chapters are 2 pages. And I feel that when a book is like that, it's easier for me to get through quicker, because I would just want to keep getting through the chapters. And then I'll be like, oh, just 1 more chapter. And then next thing you know, it's 3 more chapters, because the chapters are just so short. And it's like a thriller. So I want to uncover things, and the short chapters are just really helpful. But yeah, that's kind of all I have to really say right now. I'm enjoying it, and now I'm going to keep reading. Please excuse how crazy I look right now. It's been a couple days, I think like 3 days last time I talked to you guys. I've just been so busy. But I've been sitting here reading for like a while now, and I was like, I should probably be documenting this. I went to Fullerton to volunteer with the kids. I mentioned that I volunteer with kids in my introducing me video. There's always birds when I'm trying to film. They haven't been chirping this whole time. But I went to Fullerton, and then usually when I go out there, I stay with a friend for the night. I was out there volunteering on Saturday, and then I also went out Friday for a friend's birthday, and we went drinking, and I drunk a lot. So I've just been feeling so dead. I just drove all the way from Fullerton home this morning, and I've just been in bed reading the whole time because I'm just like deadbeat tired. But I don't have a lot left. I only have like this much left, which really isn't a lot. Things did pick up a lot, but I still feel like it was just him trying to figure out things and just going through the motions of being a detective in a sense and figuring out her life. I don't really have much to relay, if I'm being honest. I'm just going to keep sitting here and reading. I feel like I can finish it in the next like 30 minutes, maybe an hour. But no, the pages are really easy to read and the chapters are short, like I said. So I think I could finish it pretty quickly right now, and I kind of want to. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to finish the book right now. Hold up. I'm very much confused. I feel like I have to go back and read some things. What the heck? The hell? You're joking. You're joking. There's no way. What the heck am I even reading? Wait, I gotta sit up because I'm like freaking out. I need a second. What was the... What? I will say the ending did get me. It did get me. I would never have guessed that was the ending. Ever. I need a minute. No more reading for the rest of the day. I will get back to you guys after I lay down for a bit because I'm actually really tired and I just really want to finish the book because I was hooked in towards the end. I'll do my debrief and relay later on because there's just so much to unpack after what the hell I just read. Okay, it has been 2 days. It's been 2 days since I finished it. In the last clip, I finished Silent Patient. What the heck was that ending? I mean, it was really good, but we'll get into that. I also had said that I was going to not read for the rest of the day and then start Heartless Hunter. And that's exactly what I did. I started Heartless Hunter yesterday, but I will give more of a debrief on this later on. Let's get back to Silent Patient. So much to talk about, but then again, I don't want to spoil anything. I would say that in the end, I really did like this book. I would say that in the beginning and through some parts of the book, it did feel very slow, but then it picked up. And once it picked up, like a lot was just happening at once. And then the story was unfolding before my eyes. And another reason why I like the book so much is because usually I can like guess the ending before it's revealed or in some way put some pieces together as in what the shock or the reveal is going to be. But for this book, I genuinely was beyond shocked. Like I could not have guessed the ending of this book at all. And the ending alone and the fact that I was just completely thrown off by the ending is what bumped this book up 1 star than what I was going to rate it. I was going to rate it 3 stars, but like I said, for the ending alone, I'm gonna have to give it 4 stars. 4 stars because of his storytelling. His writing was also really good as well. I loved the way he wrote. And besides the very small parts where I did feel bored, he did keep me very much hooked in and entertained and just wanting to know what was going on in the book until it got to the crazy ending. And just when I thought that I knew what was happening, boy, was I wrong. I love how the author was able to weave the different parts of the storyline and have it all come together in sync. It made me want to go back and read certain parts for me to connect it to the ending. And I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. This makes sense. I see why that was happening now in this scene. So all the parts that I thought were boring or that I thought were like, why are we reading this? Connected back to the end once everything was done. And everything in the book was essential, even though I thought it wasn't at the beginning. But with all that being said, I would say that I still need somewhat of an explanation as to why Alicia didn't speak for 6 years. Like I know the ending and I know what happened to her that night or whatever, that the night that she killed her husband. I still need more from like her as a character, because to not speak, not even a peep, not even to use your vocal cords for 6 years, I just feel that was crazy. And I need more of an explanation on that, or we need to dwell on the fact of her not speaking for that long more. I feel like this is one of those books that you can never read the same for the first time. Like once you read it, you can never look at it the same. I can never read this book with a fresh set of eyes or like a fresh mind, because I will start dissecting it early on into the book and I will start connecting it to the ending because I know what will happen. I would say this is truly an ending you cannot forget. My brain truly did need a chance to digest everything that I read 2 days ago, so I didn't get a chance to write in my book journal. I'm going to finish out writing the journal entry for The Silent Patient. I already wrote out the most important parts. I did write out the summary. I wrote out some favorite quotes. I need to put more favorite quotes in here. I'm also going to highlight the star section right now. I gave it 4 stars. And then I also need to write out the highlights as well. Okay, so I just finished writing out everything for The Silent Patient. For the part where it said quick opinion of this book, I just checked off not what I expected. That's all I really can say about this one. But now let's talk about Heartless Hunter, because I did start it yesterday. I haven't gotten too far actually. I think I'm only like 3 chapters in actually, but the chapters are kind of short. But before I do too much, I'm going to write it in my book journal, or I'm going to write the basic stuff for it. So I'm just writing the title and then why I chose this book. I don't really want to write the summary right now because I feel like I need to read a little bit more. There is like the synopsis, but sometimes I like to write the summary once I'm pretty much almost done with it, because then I can just write the generalization of the whole book. And then lastly, the date that I started it. But okay, I just finished writing up everything that I need to for the book journal. I'm going to just sit here for a little bit and read some of the book. I will give my first impressions of the book probably maybe later on today if I get through a good chunk of it, but it'll probably be tomorrow. When I tell you, I am obsessed with this book. I'm so obsessed with it. It's giving the same feeling that I got when I started Bride. It just makes me so excited to run back and read the book. I've been home pretty much all day and I've just been reading, and I'm okay with that though. But I never really gave my first impressions of the book, but then again, I just told you I was obsessed with it. So in that case, it is a very good first impression. So far, it's really good. I like how the author just lays out everything for you, like starting from the very first page, but you kind of learn things gradually and perfectly. It's pretty obvious in regards to like the synopsis and the fact that there's like a map. Oh, I never showed you guys that there was a map, but there's a map in the very beginning of the book. But that's Gideon and that's Rune. Obviously, they are the love interests of the book. The thing is though, Rune is a witch and Gideon is a witch hunter. So I'm like, how is that gonna work out? As of right now though, they're kind of like dating or courting each other in a sense, but like they're doing it for their own certain reasons. Like Rune has her reasons and Gideon has his reasons as to why they want to court each other. Obviously it's not for love as of right now. To be honest, it truly is like enemies to lovers. And it's like they know they're enemies in a sense. Or Rune knows that Gideon is a huge enemy because Gideon has no idea that Rune is a witch. He suspects it, but it is like pretty much enemies to lovers. But Gideon hates witches and I'm not sure why he hates them so much yet. I feel like they'll explain that more because they keep hinting at certain things. I mean, it's his point of view. But speaking of that, it's dual point of view. Most of the point of view chapters are in Rune's POV, but we do get some in Gideon's POV as well. And I love when it's dual POVs because I love getting Gideon's mindset and the way he sees Rune and then how that's changing as the book goes on. I just like getting the guy's point of view of things because I typically feel that I'm always getting the girl's point of view. But knowing what they know and what's happening in each other's lives as separate characters is really nice to see play out. What else was I gonna say? Oh my god, I gotta show you guys something. My sister got Mate. It came out, I think, a couple days ago, but she already bought it and she already read it, so then now she brought it to me, and when I tell you, I am itching. But I have other things I need to read first because after Heartless Hunter I have to start my fall TBR. Something is telling me that I need to read this and now I'm so tempted. I want to read it so bad. You don't even know, bro. I'm excited to read these characters. I'm really gonna try to hold off, but I thought I would show you guys that because I just finished Bride in this video. What perfect timing. Finished Bride right before the next companion book came out. Maybe it's a good thing I was a late reader to Bride. But that's kind of all I really need to say about Heartless Hunter. I really love it. And I'll get back to you guys, I guess, when I feel that I need to say something. But I'm gonna keep reading for a little bit right now. Hello, I thought I would do a little debrief on the book right now, give some of my thoughts. I feel like I can tell when my lips literally have no gloss on them when I'm filming. So I truly do love this book so much. I'm like pretty much halfway through. And honestly, as I keep reading, the book just keeps getting better and better, honestly. One of the biggest things that I keep going back and forth on is the fact that like, I genuinely am trying to understand or like how Gideon and Rune can be together because I just don't see him accepting her as a witch. That's kind of like my biggest question right now. I just keep asking myself that over and over again while I am reading the book and while they just keep developing feelings for each other. They're dating each other for their own certain reasons. He suspects she's a witch and she needs to date him for like her own reasons. But he knows she could be a witch, but he's fighting his feelings for her. And then when he finds out she is a witch, which I'm pretty sure he will, not sure how he will, how is that gonna work? How is that gonna work? Also, there's kind of like a love triangle in the book in a sense. And this is the first time in a long time where I would say I genuinely would not mind her ending up with the other love interest. Usually I think, oh, she's meant to be with the guy who's like supposed to be her love interest in the book. And yes, I know Gideon is the love interest, but I honestly wouldn't mind her ending up with the other guy that the author like keeps implying likes her so much. And they're best friends, and I like the guy who is the possible love interest. It's not really a spoiler, they're brothers. It's unfortunate that the guy in the book and Gideon are brothers, or the guy I'm talking about that I wouldn't mind her ending up with. That's like the other third party in their possible love triangle. Even though I know it's not really like a love triangle because it's pretty clear that she's gonna end up with Gideon. But I like the brother. He knows she's a witch. He helps her with her missions and stuff. And he just truly loves her and accepts her and is like so kind to her. Obviously, I like her with Gideon more, just a little bit more. I think like their spark is just like really there. So that is definitely something that I'm realizing while I'm reading the book. I genuinely feel that this witchy book is exactly what I needed and more. And I love it. I think the plot is written so really well. As we progress and the story goes on, I'm just like, everything just ties together so nicely in the writing and like the fun little things that are added in the book that make me like imagine and picture everything in my head. It just gives off like the perfect witchy vibe that I was looking for. Safe to say that this book is definitely not putting me in a reading slump, and it's definitely making me want to keep reading. And so we meet again on a late night with me staying up to read again. I said I was not going to do this, but the book got me again. Another book where I just sleep, eat, and breathe it. I do anything, I'm out and about, I want to read it. I bring it with me everywhere. I just want to keep reading it, and I cannot put it down. Yeah. Here we are again. I'm on page 244. I'm like a little over halfway into the book. It's so good. It's so good. I don't know. I have no words. It's definitely hooked me in. I'm someone who doesn't really read a lot of fantasy or romantasy, because I will say if I do read fantasy, I would say I need some romance in there. I don't need it to be like the biggest part of it, even though I feel a big plot of this is the romance, and I love that. And I actually really am starting to realize that maybe I should read more fantasy, because I don't really read it a lot, and this book is just showing me that I need to read it more. Definitely a good way to start a genre. It is literally almost 3 o'clock in the morning. At least it's not 3 yet, and it's not as bad as last time, because last time I stayed up to almost 4. But I'm going to try to force myself to go to bed now. I have 2 more pages left in this chapter. I'm not reading anymore after that. I need to go to sleep. So much has happened though. I just passed the part where Gideon kind of explains his life before he became a witch hunter. He was just explaining his other encounters with the witch. I'm trying not to spoil. And honestly, if I was Gideon, I completely understand him. I completely understand his side of things. And if I was him, I'd probably want to be killing witches and eradicating them from the capital too. Like, I can't really blame him too much for being a witch hunter, because the story he just explained makes me hate the witch that did what they did to him, or that gave him such a terrible experience, because the thing she did to him, God bless Gideon in his heart. But the main character is a witch. Like I said, like I'm wondering how he can get past that, because there was a part in the book where Rune was talking to Alex, and he was like, oh yeah, my brother can't be saved, but you can still be saved, like when it comes to like witches and like how you feel about them. And I completely agree. After reading that, like, I understand his hatred. I'm not really mad at him for it. I'm sorry, because his story is really sad. I love the push and pull of the romance between Gideon and Rune. And once again, hearing both point of views is amazing. I love it. I still have a good amount to get through. I'm going to finish reading the last 3 pages, and then I'm going to sleep. No excuses. It is the very next day. I woke up immediately, and I wanted to read. I've been reading for a while, and I only have this much left. So I'm pretty sure I can finish the book like right now within the next 30 minutes, because the book is very easy to read, and I'm sure I can get through the chapters pretty quickly. As of right now, things are so good right now, especially between Gideon and Rune. I know I keep saying this, but I'm genuinely curious as to how things will work out, because they're just like so in love, and how is he gonna accept her for what she is? I don't know, but I'm like itching to read, so that's what I'm gonna do right now. They're literally so cute. They're so cute. I don't even want to know what happens. I'm like scared for this like bubble to pop. Maybe just sleep off. I spoke too soon. I know there always has to be third act breakups. I know. And the fact that there's only this much left means that I'm not gonna get anything resolved in this book. Everything's gonna happen in the next book. They were literally happy a second ago. Ugh. No. Don't read ahead. Don't read ahead. No! No! I'm actually really sad right now. No! That was so unnecessary. Of all the characters. Wait, maybe. No, I actually really like that character. I'm actually very angry right now. Why? I don't know how to feel right now. I didn't think that was gonna make me that sad. I need to get the next book, like, immediately. I have to. But then do I want to keep reading it? Of course I want to keep reading it. It's so good. Wow. No. I'm done for the day. I'm not going to read anything else. I'm done talking. I'm not even going to write in my reading journal today. That's it for today. I'm done. Hello. These are literally so good. It has been a while later, actually, and I realized I never filmed an outro. So that's what this little clip is. I feel like this video is probably a lot longer than I wanted it to be. Just a video of me rambling, talking about books. I finished Heartless Hunter I finished it 2 days ago. And when I tell you I'm still like reeling from it and sad from the ending. I've mentioned before that I get attached to characters. This wasn't even a series though. It was one book, but I'm still like really sad about the ending. And I need to read the second one immediately. I also never finished writing in the book journal for Heartless Hunter. So that's what we're gonna do right now. Date I finished this book. October, a Monday. I started the book on a Monday and then I finished it on a Monday as well. So it took me a week to finish it. Exactly a week. Summary. I gotta look for the favorite quotes. I feel like I'll write out the highlights a little later because I have so many highlights and I have to figure out which ones I actually really want to put like in this paragraph part. But that is that. I'm so happy to have finished all 3 books and have them in the journal. But to talk about Heartless Hunter as a whole, because I never got to do like my huge debrief on the book, I'm going to rate it 5 out of 5. It was so good. And for it to be one of the very few books that I've read that is like a romantasy and has a lot of fantasy, magical things in it, it was really freaking good. And now I'm on a high and I just want to read more fantasy books. I really liked the way the author was able to write out the whole plot. The cliffhanger at the end was good. Even though the ending was sad to me, I think it ended perfectly. The plot twists were also really good. The push and pull of Gideon and Rune's relationship, I could just feel the tension between them. And I love a slow burn. I'm a slow burn girly and I feel like this was a perfect slow burn between the 2 love interests. But then it was also enemies to lovers. So there was multiple tropes in this book, but they were written out so well. I realized, and when I'm so obsessed with the book to the point where I'm reading it all day, don't want to do anything but read it. At first I thought I was going to rate it 4 stars, but then I was like, no, this book is 5 stars. So that's my rating. I feel that this is definitely showing that I go easy on my book ratings because all 3 of these books were, 2 of them were 5 stars and then 1 of them was a 4-star. But honestly, I really am greedy with my stars. I think it was just, I picked these books specifically because I wanted to get out of a reading slump and I knew they would get me out of a reading slump. And that's exactly what they did. So I would say this video and all 3 books definitely did their jobs. I was also so happy that I was able to start my book journal. I'm actually really excited to read more so I can fill up the book journal. Another thing I'm going to mention is that I started Mate. I know I said I wasn't going to start it until I read my other fall TBR books, but I was just itching to read it, and I feel like I will finish it very fast, so that I would just give an update on what I'm reading at the moment because I just started it. But with all of that being said, I think this is where I'm going to end the video. Once again, I feel that I'm definitely out of my reading slump. This video was very fun to film. I really hoped you enjoyed watching it if you're still here right now. Thank you so much for watching. I love you so much. You should definitely like, comment, and subscribe if you would like to. All of my socials are down in the description below, of course. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.